Hello students, today we are going to discuss the different terminologies or nomenclature as per USP of parental dosage form and the classification of parental dosage form. So in this lecture, we will discuss the different terms such as the injection, for suspension, for emulsion, small volume parental, large volume parental, ophthalmic product, etc. etc. And the classification of parental dosage form based on the volume, based on the packaging material, based on its clinical use, and based on its physical states. So let's start. The terminologies and definition by the USP. So USP define the injection, for injection, injectable emulsion, and many more terms. So before the formulation or after the formulation of any parental dosage form, you should mention the labeling condition of particular parental dosage form on the primary or secondary packaging material. So therefore, there is a need to know about the different terms such as the injections. So as per the USP, what are the injections? So liquid preparation that are drug substances or a solution thereof. Generally, these are the liquid preparations. So as you know that the liquid preparation containing the drug, one or more than one drugs, containing a suitable the excipients or polymeric material in a suitable vehicle, maybe aqueous vehicle or oily vehicle you can use. So this is about the injection. For injections, so means these are not ready for administration via any parental route. So before the administration of such a type of preparation, we have to reconstitute or to form either a clear solution or a suspension of that particular drug substances. So see the definition of parental means for injection, the dry solid. These are the dry solid that upon the addition of a suitable vehicle, generally sterile water for injection or bacteriostatic water for injection is used for this purpose. Yield solution conforming in all respect to the requirement for the injection. Means after the reconstitution, so means this process is known as the reconstitution. Means after the lyophilization process, the dry a solid or dry parental dosage form will form and packed in a airtight container. Generally vial is used, and before the administration of that particular dry solids, we need to reconstitute with the suitable a vehicle like water for injection. So now this process is known as the reconstitution. So the characteristics of the drug substances and final effect definitely depend on its reconstitution time. Means the time required to form a clear solution. This time is known as the reconstitution time. Again, there are many ways or many parameter to characterize these lyophilized or dry solids. So for injection means these are the not ready for injection. We have to form a either clear solution or suspension by using a suitable vehicle. Injectable emulsion. So these are the biphasic. So as per as the BCS classification system concern, okay. So suppose the drug is class 2 or class 4, so quite difficult to form or incorporate in a monophasic solution a dosage form. So therefore, the dispersed system such as the emulsion or suspension, these are the preferable dosage form. Now, as per their solubility and permeability, we are going to formulate this type of a drug in a dispersed system. So now the injectable emulsion Again, liquid preparation of a drug dissolve or disperse in a suitable emulsion medium. Okay, injectable emulsion, no need to form a emulsion by using some surfactant or surface active agent or vehicle. Okay, these are the completely injectable emulsion. Now, because of this disperse system, or because of the solubility criteria, we need to choose a suitable route of a drug administration. Then injectable suspension. Again, liquid preparation of a solid suspended in a suitable liquid medium. Now for injectable suspension, what is the difference in between injectable suspension and injectable means for injectable suspension and injectable suspension? Injectable suspension, these are the ready for administration, but the case of for injectable suspension, again we need to form a suspension by using some vehicle or a suitable vehicle. See the definition: a dry solid that upon the addition of a suitable vehicle yield preparation conforming in all respects to the requirement for injectable suspension. Again, these are the dry powder, dry solids. Lyophilized technique is generally used to formulate this type of a preparation. So there are many reasons. Means when we see the rationale behind the formulation of dry solids or lyophilized products. So the main reason is stability. Okay, most of the antibiotics, okay, are not stable in a liquid form. Okay, so therefore they are formulated in a dry form, and before the administration we need to formulate or to form a liquid preparation by using some suitable vehicle. So this is about the for injectable suspension. Now the small volume parenteral, SVP and LVP, the injection that is packaged in a container labeled as or containing less than 100 ml volume. So these preparations are called as a small volume parenteral, like 10 ml ampoule, 10 ml vials, 30 ml vials, 60 ml vials. So these are the some examples of small volume parenteral. So containing the volume is less than 100 ml. And what about the large volume parenteral? Name itself indicate that it containing, okay, more than 100 ml, more than 100 ml volume. So these preparations are called as the large volume parenteral. For example, infusion bottles, admixtures, okay, 500 bottle means these preparation are available in 500 ml, then 200 ml, okay, 250 ml, 1000 ml, etc. Okay, these are the called as the large volume parenteral. So this is about the injectable suspension, for injectable suspension and parenteral. See, all these sterile product packaged in a vials, ampoule, cartridge, syringes, bottle, or any other container that is 100 ml or less than under the classes of the small volume parent. Now, the ophthalmic product also comes under the sterile category, sterile formulations. So therefore, this ophthalmic product packaged in a squeezable plastic container, generally a three-piece container. Why it's called as a three-piece container? Consisting body, then nozzle and cap. Okay, body generally made up of LDPE, means low density polyethylene material polymers, generally used to form the LDPE, low density polyethylene container. And another category is HDPE, okay, high density polyethylene polymers. So basically these are the two polymers used in a fabrication of ophthalmic container body, then nozzle and cap, so called as a three-piece container. And another type of the container is a BFS, blowing, filling and sealing. BFS technology is used. Generally, the purpose of BFS technology to avoid or prevent the contamination or chances of cross contamination. Okay, so therefore, as compared to three-piece container, the BFS container is suitable because of it has many advantages. FFS means form, fill, seal. Okay, when you compare the FFS like the batch processing versus the continuous processing, so as you know, there are many advantages of the continuous processing over the batch processing, and main reason is a contamination. So therefore the LDPE, HDPE, these are the polymeric material generally used to fabricate the ophthalmic container. And the types of container, the three-piece container, and another type is a BFS container, because the blowing, filling, sealing technology is used to fabricate such a type of a container. See, the ophthalmic products are packaged in squeezable plastic container, although topically applied to the eye rather than administered by the injection. Topical use means we have to instill a 1 or 2 drop of a solution or suspension of ophthalmic product in a cul-de-sac of eye. There are many means nowadays there are many advances in ophthalmic dosage form, such as the ophthalmic ointment. Ophthalmic means nanotechnology is emerging in development of ophthalmic dosage form, such as the nanoparticle mucoadhesive nanoparticle. Generally pilocarpine is incorporated in a nanoparticle, and some bioadhesive polymer, suppose the carbabol 934P is used. Okay, so this become a nanoparticle or mucoadhesive nano medicines, okay, in ophthalmic treatment. Okay, so when we compare the traditional or conventional ophthalmic solution with the advanced drug delivery system, so there are many limitations of ophthalmic solutions, such as the uh, residence time of a solution is a very less. Means after the installation of 1 or 2 drop in a cul-de-sac of eye, the elimination rate will be fast. Elimination, and because of this elimination or residence time of a drug in a cul-de-sac of eye, means eye cavity, the ointment is introduced in market. Then ophthalmic suspension, nano suspension, nanoparticle. Okay, then the small volume parenteral aqueous solution can be administered by the intravenous. We'll discuss in next lecture in detail the intravenous means the route of drug administration, parenteral route of administration. Okay, so now the classification of a parenteral preparation. So first, a classification of this preparation based on the type of packaging material: single dose unit and multiple dose unit. Single dose unit, for example, ampoules, say the transparent or white ampoules and amber color ampoules. The drug is not oxidizable, so you can use the white or transparent ampoules. But suppose the drug is highly sensitive to the oxygen, means highly oxidizable, so we have to use the amber color bottles. Okay, or light sensitive drugs, so in that cases we have to use the amber color ampoules. So these ampoules are also called as a hermetically sealed container, means completely airtight container. And why it's necessary to remove the complete air from the container? Because of the oxidation or because of the degradation of it. So therefore, during the manufacturing or during the packaging of a drug in an ampoule, there is a need to purge the nitrogen gas or any inert gas like carbon dioxide. Okay, means after the filling the content or solution inside the ampoule, immediately we have to purge the nitrogen. And what is the purpose of nitrogen purging? To remove the dissolved oxygen from the container and immediately seal in next station. So means filling, purging and sealing. So these are the basic steps involving in the packaging of a drug in ampoule dosage form. So sorry, ampoule container. Then pre-filled disposable syringes. So these are the another example of the single dose unit. These are the already pre-filled, means not necessary to remove the content, means a drug solution from the ampoule. Okay, so these are the available with the syringe and needle. Okay, so means before the administration of the drug from the pre-filled syringes, you can directly inject or directly administer the drug through a suitable route of administration. What are the purpose? To avoid the contamination, to avoid the contamination, dose accuracy. In many cases, many drugs are very potent, so we have to measure very carefully, like anesthetic agents. Okay, means a point of 5 ml in microliter, so the accuracy is again very important. So that's why the pre-filled disposable syringes are introduced in market. Infusion bottle 500. So means when you see the label of this type of a container, I can see the labeling guidelines, means content, it contains each 1 ml. Suppose the ampoule, the size of ampoule is a 1 ml, so completely 1 ml. So because these are the single dose unit, you can't use second time or third time. Okay, single time we have to use it. Okay, so the dose calculation is as per the final or complete whole volume of the content. Another type is a multiple dose unit. For example, multiple dose vials, 10 ml, 30 ml, general gentamicin, diclofenac sodium. So these are the some examples of drug which is available in a multiple dose vials. So the physicians or practitioner can take 1 ml, 2 ml as per the patient, as per the age or as per the requirement, and then inject in patients in aseptic area. Okay, means the good aseptic practices, GAP, like the GMP or CGMP, current good manufacturing practices, during the formulation, during the manufacturing, as well as during the storage and administration, we have to maintain in all, okay, in all these, okay, cases, we have to follow the good aseptic practices. Okay, so this is about the base class, the first class of parental preparation based on the type of a packaging. Second, based on the production and control. Generally, as I said, the small volume parental, the size of this small volume parental is less than 100 ml, and large volume parental size of this preparation is more than 100 ml. And the examples are the infusions, admixtures, and the small volume parental ampoule, vial, etc. The third class, the based on its clinical use. The first is a solution for irrigation, ophthalmic solutions, dialysis solution, generally used in hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis fluid, then diagnostic agents and parental implants. Okay, so these are the some examples of the parental doses from based on its clinical use. And the solution means irrigation solution, hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis fluid, diagnostic agent, and parental so this is in general use of parental product in means in routine. Okay, so implants means for the period of 6 months, for the period of 1 year, 2 year, the drug will be released from the small implant, and the microsurgery is a very minor surgery is required to place the parental implant below the skin. Then the last class of based on the physical state of a product: sterile solution, sterile suspension, emulsion, and sterile solution. I repeat, again, based on the BCS classes, the BCS class will give the whole and soul idea about the doses from to the formulator based on its solubility and the permeability. So based on this parameter, you can select solution, suspension means the final dosage form, or sterile is solid. Okay, see, so now a solution, these are the conventional parenteral dosage form. Means through this solution you can't retard the release of a drug. But nowadays, means you can say this is the advancement in a parenteral suspension. Okay, you can retard or modify the release of a drug from parenteral solution, and these preparation are called as the depot parenteral preparation, depot formulation. Means when you compare this parenteral dosage form, means modified drug delivery system with the oral tablet or oral modified drug delivery system, so you'll get idea about the ease of manufacturing, which is the easy process of the manufacturing. Okay, so same, the diffusion, a dissolution, or both the diffusion, dissolution, and many other mechanism definitely will occur in the parenteral depot formulation. So by using some polymeric material, okay, nowadays there are many natural polymers, synthetic polymer, semi-synthetic polymers available in market at a low cost. So therefore by using this polymer you can easily retard the release of a drug from the parenteral suspension, so called as the parenteral depot formulation. Okay, sterile emulsion and sterile solids, as I said, the lyophilizer or freeze dryer is a very costly instrument generally used in a pharma industry for the preparation of dry solids or lyophilized product. So this is about the classification based on the different aspects and the different terms, like injection for injection, for suspension, emulsion, small volume parenteral and large volume parenteral. Thank you very much for patience listening.